Hello friends, you are welcome back to my channel. In today's lesson, we are going to be focusing on motion.
Under this, we are going to look at the definition of emotion, the description of motion, types of motion, what is the relationship between force and motion, and the last one is the Newton laws of motion. That's all we are going to talk about in this video. The big question is, what is a motion? Motion refers to the change in the position of a body with respect to time.
This implies that an object or a body is said to be in motion when it changes position with respect to time. For example, let's assume that we have two goalposts. We have two goalposts, and I have another goalpost here. Then I have player 1 here, and I have player 2 here. And I have a ball in this place. So, as player 1 kick this ball, the ball will change the position. The ball changes its position from this point. This is the starting point. Let me call this starting point or resting point. As player 1 kick this ball, the ball moves from this place to player 2. In that case, the ball has changed its position. The ball has changed its position, thereby from this place to this place. As the ball moves from this place to this place, we can say that the ball is in motion, because from the definition of motion, we said that motion refers to the change in position of a body with respect to time. And if you look at this object, which is the ball, changes position as a result of player 1. Because as player 1 kicks the ball changes position. So therefore, we can say that this ball is in motion.
Basically, motion can be described in 4 terms, and these are distance, displacement, time, and speed.
From the previous example that I gave to you, as player 1 kicked the ball from this point, the ball is in motion, and as the ball moves from this starting point to player 2, in that case, the ball has covered a distance because there is a change in position. This is the resting position of the ball before. When player 1 kicked the ball covered the following distance as a result of the change in position. So the first properties of motion, the first attribute, the first characteristic. So the first characteristic of a motion that we're going to talk about is the distance. We have the distance. Distance refers to the total length traveled by an object. Let's assume that from this point, if the length from the starting point of the ball is 5 kilometers, then the distance of the ball is 5 kilometers. Now let's talk about another term, which is displacement.
Displacement refers to the shortest distance traveled by an object or a body.
Let's assume that as player 1 kicked the ball to player 2, player 2 also kicked the ball to player 3. Let me put player 3 in this place. Now we are told to calculate the displacement of the ball. In that case, don't forget that the definition of displacement is the shortest distance traveled by an object. We are told to calculate the displacement of the ball. The displacement of the ball will be from this place to this place, because displacement tells us the shortest distance traveled by the object. Okay, let us try to solve this question. Find the distance and displacement. Don't forget that distance is the total length traveled by the object. Now, as player 1 kicked the ball to player 2, the ball covered a distance of 8 meters. As player 2 kicked the ball to player 3, the ball covered a distance of 6 meters. Now, what is the total distance of the ball? The total distance is equals to 8 meters plus 6 meters. So 8 plus 6, that is 14. The total distance is 14 meters. Now let us calculate the displacement. Don't forget the definition of a displacement. The displacement of an object tells us the shortest distance traveled by the object. The shortest distance of the ball from player 1 to player 3, that will be the displacement. In that case, let me try to draw a straight line here. So this is the shortest distance. Let me represent this distance as x. So if I want to calculate the value of x, which is the displacement of the ball, don't forget, according to Pythagoras' theorem, the square of the longest side of a right angle triangle is the sum of the square of the other two sides. In that case, I'm going to have x squared is equals to 8 squared plus 6 squared. X squared is equals to 8 squared is 64. So I'm going to have 64 here plus 36. X squared is equals to 100. X is equals to square root of 100. X is equals to 10. So in that case, the displacement x is equals to 10 meter. The shortest distance of the board from player 1 to player 3 is 10 meter. So therefore, I can represent this as 10 meter. Now you can differentiate between the distance and the displacement of an object that is in motion. Another descriptive term of motion that we're going to talk about is the speed.
Speed refers to the distance traveled by a body with respect to time.
The speed of an object tells us how fast the object is traveling, and it is expressed mathematically as speed is equals to distance all over time. So if you remember this formula, this is the relationship that exists between the speed, distance, and time. Speed is directly proportional to the distance and inversely proportional to the time. So therefore, if you remember this formula, you can easily calculate your speed